Hello everyone and welcome to Ferris Sports Update. I'm your host Rob Bentley and thanks for tuning in. On today's show we'll recap another win for the Ferris State football squad. We'll check in with Bulldog hockey as they had home action, and we'll tip off the basketball season with the defending national champion, the men's basketball team. But first we'll start with Bulldog football and joined by assistant coach Steve Annese. And coach, first of all, welcome to the show.
Glad to be here, thank you.
Obviously got to be pleased with the way your team's playing right now, 8-0 and atop the GLIAC standings.
Yeah, you know, we fought through a tough game against Saginaw, fought through some weather conditions and, came out on top, so it was a great win for us.
Obviously, you mentioned the weather conditions, weather impacting the kickoff, delayed almost an hour before it was all said and done.
Yeah.
How did you handle that with that weather delay?
We were in the locker room for about 48 minutes. Some of our guys kind of used the time to refocus themselves. We came out, we got some time to warm up, and, we came out and, really executed pretty well off the first couple of possessions. So.
As we go to some of the highlights of the game, coming in off a win over Grand Valley State, an emotional win, how much of a distraction was that coming into this contest? I'm not sure how much of a distraction it was.
We definitely felt that, kind of that relief from that part of our schedule, but we always talked about our season in segments, and, our time through Saginaw Valley there, Grand Valley through Saginaw Valley was always going to be a tough segment for us. Saginaw was 6-1 coming into the contest, and, they were a good team in their own right.
Obviously, here early on, the defense gets an early stop and gets the ball back for the offense. And after a penalty here against Saginaw Valley, a long touchdown throw here to Javon Shaw.
Yeah, we installed that play this week, kind of thinking that they would sync with us, and they didn't. And J. Rue found an open target and had a nice play.
Obviously, you mentioned Saginaw Valley 6-1 coming into the game, and they had a nice play here to get down to the 1 yard line and eventually tie the game.
Yeah, they were a really talented group. They threw the ball well against us in the first half, and I'm just glad we kind of fortified ourselves at halftime and came out and made the stops that we needed.
Defense making a play right there, and Avante Bell in on the stop. GLIAC Defensive Player of the Week, and had a tremendous game.
Yeah, he played unbelievably. He was swarming, sideline to sideline, making tackles all over the field.
Obviously, the defensive line doing a nice job here, and offense will get the ball back, and J. Rue, 165 yards rushing. Really pleased with the way he ran, especially in the second half.
Yeah, they came out with a game plan that they really wanted to force him to carry the ball on some of our option plays and some of our key plays. He made some great plays with his legs.
Here the Bulldogs driving, but then Saginaw Valley gets the stop, and eventually we'll see them take a 14-7 lead here in the first half, and they again had the momentum kind of going into halftime.
Yeah, some things didn't necessarily go our way in the first half. We kind of, fell flat in some areas, didn't convert some key fourth downs, and, we just needed to regroup and kind of get things together.
Obviously you had a drive here late in the half and a chance before you were held by Saginaw Valley. And what were the keys, I guess, at halftime going into the locker room? What was discussed?
I think everyone was trying to keep their composure. We really wanted to come out in the second half and just play the way that we were, but just kind of, do the little things right. And that was kind of what everyone talked about. No one lost their composure, and I think it helped us going in the second half.
How important was this first drive of the second half to drive down and tie the game back up?
It was great, to capture some momentum again, and really allow our defense to just play the game that, that they're accustomed to playing.
Obviously the defense here in the second half were really kind of controlled the Saginaw Valley State offense, forced a couple turnovers.
Yeah, Daylon Stevenson with 2 more picks. He has 4 picks in 2 weeks, so, he's been playing unbelievably for us as well.
Talk about the play up front here, the offensive line, and the way they were able to help move the football, 327 yards rushing.
Yeah, both our offensive line and our running backs in the run game really contributed well. We blocked them, controlled a lot of different looks. They threw a couple different fronts at us, and we did a great job of moving, making a dent in the front and creating space for our quarterback to run the ball.
Big play right there on special teams, botch punt, and that leads to another score.
Yeah, Danny Collins, he's been our special teams leader all year, and is always kind of in the right place at the right time and really does things, really makes a play when we need to make a play.
How tough was it in these weather conditions, especially in the third quarter, driving kind of into the rain and into the wind?
Yeah, I think we needed to fortify ourselves and really just try to pound the ball, the old school style football, and I think we accomplished that. It's great to see us go out and our offensive line really create space when we needed space.
Your big touchdown run from J. Rue Campbell to start the fourth quarter, and you had a 2-score lead, and from there the defense did a great job of really preserving the win.
Yeah, I used the word swarming earlier. I think that's what they were. You can see on all of these plays, it's not just one guy to the ball, it's multiple guys to the ball making the play and really tracking the ball sideline to sideline.
Here an interception again that really kind of wins the game for you as you were able to kind of milk some time away here on this drive as well.
Yeah, definitely. Dylan Stevenson again, like I said, 2 weeks in a row that he's gotten key picks late in the game.
6 sacks here from the defense, defensive line, kind of like the offensive line, really controlling the line of scrimmage in the second half.
Yeah, they played great. You know, they dented the front. I think both sides of the ball. You know, we dented their offensive front, our D line, and our O line dented the D line. You know, the front, and created a lot of space on both sides.
You talked earlier about the segments of the season, and obviously tough road games here, back-to-back weeks against Grand Valley and Saginaw Valley, and nice to be back at home for a couple weeks.
Yeah, definitely. It's great to be back at Top Taggart. You know, it seems like so long since we've been there. You know, we had the Battle in the Ballpark, which was awesome, but you know, it kind of took an opportunity to be at Top Taggart away from us, and so it's been a long time, and it feels great to kind of go back into a week knowing that we're going to play there again.
Obviously this week taking on Wayne State and a team that's coming in after a big win over Northwood this past Saturday.
Yeah, you know, they really had a great game. You know, they put it together on all fronts. You know, it's kind of what I think we were all expecting them to be coming into the season. You know, they have a veteran group, you know, led by a great O-line. You know, they schematically really want to pound the ball, and their O-line, you know, has really come together and put a dent in the front. They had I think two backs carry the ball for nearly 200 yards apiece. So it was unbelievable, you know, really pounding the ball away.
Obviously, with these 2 home games back-to-back, what are some keys here to getting a couple more wins and keeping that unbeaten streak intact?
You know, I think it's similar things to the keys to the game that we just played. I think we got to dent the front on both sides, create space for us to run the ball. If there is any vulnerability in Wayne State's defense, it's you know, they've given up some rush yards. So, you know, we need to dent the front, create space for ourselves to run the ball, and then we need to contain their rush attack. And if we can do that, you know, we'll have a good shot.
Obviously, it's a long season from week 1 to week 11, and certainly you hope there's some more games beyond that. Just talk about the progress that's been made, especially on the offensive side that I know you work with.
Yeah, definitely. You know, we've kind of talked all season about taking the game week by week. You know, we kind of set our goals to take each week individually and really try to get better every week, you know, heading throughout the season. And a lot of our guys, a lot of our older veteran players kind of look back to when they were first getting to Ferris State and look back at, you know, those 14 and 15 GLIAC championships, and that was something that they wanted to achieve again. You know, we've had great success in the playoffs the last couple of years, but we haven't been necessarily able to capture that GLIAC championship success that we want to have, and you know, that was kind of a motivating factor for our guys.
How nice has it been for you and some of the offensive staff, obviously working with an experienced group and so many veterans coming back this year?
Yeah, definitely. You know, we have a lot of pieces that have a ton of experience, a lot of games under their belts. Me personally, coaching wide receivers, you know, I have 2 guys that started every game last season, you know, and so we have a lot of experience. Jay Rue coming in new has really gotten up to speed really quickly, and you know, done some things that we haven't even been able to do in the past, even when we've had veteran quarterbacks. So I think his presence has been big for us, and you know, driving us forward to take that next step offensively.
Well, Coach, congratulations again on the 8-0 start, and best of luck against Wayne State Saturday, 1 o'clock at Top Taggart Field.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
We'll be back with more Ferris Sports Update right after this.